off the beaded path, your beading starts here. Shop it off the beaded path bead store.
Hey there. My name is Kelly Dale with Off the Beaded Path beadstore.com. Thanks so much for joining me today as we learn how to make a new fringe earring just in time for our July 4th holiday. Now, if you are not in America, it's okay. You can make these in whatever color you want. Make them to celebrate your home country. Make them just in different colors, whatever you want to do. So, specifically for our project today, these can be made in two different lengths. I have made one a little bit shorter and one a little bit longer. So no matter which one you're going to do, you're going to need 2 wire protectors, 1 pair of ear wires. You're going to need 1 gram of a size 11 Delica in a blue color. You're going to need 2 grams of a size 11 Delica in a white and 2.5 grams of a size 11 Delica in a red. Now, if you want to make your earrings a little bit longer, you're also going to need 1 gram of a size 11 Delica in a silver or a gold. Now, let's talk about your thread choice because that is a big deal on fringe earrings. When you make a fringe earring, your fringe has to be soft. If not, it's going to be really stiff and it's going to look weird and it's not going to lay nice when you wear it. Excuse me. So for the top of the earring, I recommend that you use something like Fireline or Wildfire or Dragon Thread, something of that nature. Whatever you use, it needs to have a stiffer feel to it, so that way your earring will have a nice stiff top. Now the fringe that you're going to do needs to be made in something softer. Do not use Fireline or Wildfire or anything like that because it's going to make your fringe too stiff. You're going to want to use like a 1G, a KO, a Miyuki thread, any one of those type threads. It's going to allow us to get a nice drape on that fringe. Now, if you're like me and you don't like to continually switch out your threads, you can use 1G or KO thread for the entire earring and just stiffen the top of the earring. And I will show you how I do that at the end of this video. So let's go ahead and get whatever thread you're going to start with. I'm honestly going to use the 1G for the entire thing. So I'm going to thread on 2 yards of thread. If you are going to do the top with your Fireline and then the bottom with something else, you'll want to thread your needle with about 1 yard of thread for the top of the earring. So let's go ahead and get started. So as I said, there are 2 length versions of this earring. This is the one I'm going to be demoing for you today. These earrings are about 2 1/4 inches. I used the gold here and here. If you don't like gold, use silver. If you want it a little bit shorter, you can either make some of this fringe shorter. I left off the gold, so it makes these about 2 inches long. So it's a little bit shorter. And it still looks good without that extra length. So it's completely up to you how you want to do it. The graphs for both of these are on the free pattern on my website at offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com. So we're going to start with this top, and we are only going to be using our blue and our white for the top. And we're going to do this in odd count peyote. So to get started, I'm going to thread on 1 blue, 1 white, 1 blue, 1 white, 1 blue, 1 white, and 1 blue. So you're going to have 3 white beads and 4 blue beads. Now, you can do whatever version of odd count peyote you want. I do the version where we have the traveling tail, but it's completely up to you. So now we're going to do another row of blue. So working back in the other direction, I thread on 1 blue, I skip the last blue I added and pass through the white. And I'm going to put my fingers on those so it doesn't do anything crazy. All right, I'm going to pick up a blue. I'm gonna skip the blue and go through the white. Okay. So I'm only adding blues on this row. So I pick up a blue, I skip the blue, and I go through the white. Now, you'll notice I still have one bead left there. So with that one bead, I have to pick up one blue. Now, I'm going to keep this tail thread kind of tight against my finger, and I'm going to put the needle under the tail thread, pull it through, making sure that the bead does not go under the tail thread, and then I'm going to pass through the bead that I just added again. So when I do that and I give that a gentle tug, you now have this. Now, when we work back down the row, we're going to do another row of blue. So I thread on a blue, come through the blue, thread on a blue, come through the blue, and then thread on a blue and come through the blue. Now we're going to do a row of white. So I pick up a white, working back the other direction. I go through the blue, then a white, pass through the blue, a white, pass through the blue, and then I have to do that one more time. This is going to be our odd count turnaround. So I thread on a white, I take the needle and I go under my tail thread here that I've got pulled tight, pull it through, making sure that you don't pull the bead under that thread, and then you're going to take the needle and come right back through that bead again. So you'll notice now that on the row of white before, it was our row of 3 whites. Now we're doing a row of the 4 whites. So it's going to jump back and forth between 3 and 4, 3 and 4. So now it's a row of blue. So you pick up a blue, come through the white, blue through white, blue through white. Now another row of blue, so I'm going to work back up with the blue. Alrighty, so you can see here now that we're now ready for a row of white with our just sets of 3 here. So I pick up a white, go through a blue, white through blue, and white through blue, just like this. So you'll see, if you look here on the bottom, I have 2 blue, 1 white, and then it will be 2 blue, 1 white, that same kind of a pattern, just like we have established. So you're going to continue in this same pattern. Now, I do have the word chart. It's free there again on my website. The complete word chart and bead chart for this odd count peyote. So if you need that bead or word chart, just go grab that free pattern and you'll be set and good to go. So now I'm just going to work another row of blue and then a row of white. Now I'm going to continue in this same pattern that I have established until I have 11 beads along the bottom and 11 beads along the top. Now, no matter if you're doing the short or the long earrings, you're going to be doing the same top. Now, the fringe on page 5 of the pattern The first fringe here is for the longer fringe with the gold. The second fringe is on page 6 of the pattern. This is for the shorter fringe. So you follow it row by row to do your fringe, and you can start on either end of it, but we need to have this in front of us so that you can get your fringe correct. So once you finish all your rows, your piece should look something like this. Now I've gone ahead and I've taken my working thread and I have come out of the end blue bead of the last row that I did. Now I'm going to go by row 1 here of my pattern, and I'm going to thread on the beads for row 1. So when you do that, row 1 is going to look something similar to this. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beads, then 2 gold, 29A, and then 4 C's. All right. So once you've got that, you're going to skip the last bead that you threaded on, and then you're going to take your needle and you're going to pass back up through all of those beads again. Now you want to be careful. You don't want to skip any of the beads because you will see where you skipped it. So you don't want to skip anything. You just want to start working up the top. Now once you get all the way to the top, you're going to pass through the blue bead there again, the same one you were coming out of. And you can see there, it's still very flexible. I've not pulled it like super tight. You don't see any thread, but I've not pulled like I'm mad at somebody. So now I'm going to pass the needle down through the next blue bead. So you can kind of see here how I'm holding it. I'm using my pinky and my finger here to kind of hold it in place as I pull so that the thread doesn't get caught. Now I want to give it a gentle tug here, and when I give it a gentle tug, it'll tighten up just a little. So I'm going to barely pull it so that way it takes that tension out of it that pulled, you know, when we pulled it. If you don't give it that gentle tug, you're going to see a little thread here between the 2 blue beads, and we don't want that. So now we're going to go by row 2 on our pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up those beads. And voila, row 2 is now on here. Now, when you drop your beads all the way down, you'll want to make sure that they are relatively the same length as the first. If it's longer, you know you put too many beads. If it's shorter, you know you've miscounted and not put enough beads. So once you can tell that they are basically the same length, again, you're going to skip that last bead that you added, and then you are going to pass back up through all the beads on our row 2. Again, make sure not to skip anything, because anywhere you skip, when you pull that thread tight, that bead is going to stick out at a funky angle and you're not going to be happy with it. And then just continue up through. Now when I get up to the top, I'm going to go through the blue bead again, the one I was coming out of to start the row. Okay, and then I'm going to come down through the next bead, which is going to be a white bead, and I'm going to give it a gentle tug. And again, I'm just going to make sure there that they are good to go. So now I'm going to continue to work all the way here to the end, following my little word chart here. I'm going to do this all the way to the end so I have all the fringe finished. Okay, friends, I know that some of you in my last segment were probably screaming, Kelly, you put the wrong color bead on, because this is what it's supposed to be, and this is what Kelly did. But hey, look, I love it too. I really like the red in the bottom. I like them both. How do you choose? Maybe you could just wear one of each. Maybe that could be very cool. But I'm just going to continue on with these since I already have them going, because clearly now you can see you can do it all red, all white, whatever you want to do. All right, so once you have your fringe complete, you are going to stitch your working thread to the top. Now, you can look here on the top, and again, you see the 11 beads across. So I'm going to count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is a blue bead, and I'm going to come out of the 5th bead here along the top. Now, I'm going to use my little wire protector, and I'm going to pass up through one side, and then down the other side. And when I go through that bead, I'm going to skip the white bead and go down through the next blue. So I'm skipping one bead and then passing through that next bead so that your hook there is centered, or your wire protector is now centered. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the thread around so that I'm coming out of that same blue bead again there. And then I'm going to go through the wire protector again. Up one side, down the other side. And then through the blue bead. Now at this point, what? Oh gosh, there we go. I was gonna say at this point I have a mess. At this point, what you're going to do is you're going to finish off the working thread however you would normally do it. Now I'm gonna take my tail thread that I had here, and I'm gonna weave it through and use it to reinforce one more time, and then I'm gonna finish off that thread as well. So when you're ready to stiffen the top of the earring, if that's what you're gonna do, I've been testing out a new product that I really, really like. It's called Mod Podge Crystal Clear. So it stiffens and it dries completely clear. Now, you can put this on with a paintbrush. I actually found these little sponge tip applicators at my local hobby store. They're 10 to a pack, so you can use those or you can use whatever you want. I really like these applicators because what I do is I go ahead and attach the ear wire to my earring. And then I take the little applicator, and you can see there's not any really excess glue or Mod Podge on there. I just take and kind of rub a very thin layer on the beadwork there. You can see what that looks like. And then flip it over to the other side. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm just going to put a real thin layer on here. It's not like super goopy or anything like that. And then once you're done with that and you've got a nice even spread layer, you can clean out these little sponges and reuse them again. And then that way I can just hang these up to dry and not have to worry about it. So I did want to show you, like I said, I did not pay attention when I started to do row 2 and I added the red. So you can see how different they look versus putting the red and the white. So it's a really fun project that you can customize to what you want. So friends, these look so fun when you wear them, and you will get amazing compliments on these earrings. So we do have bead packs available that will have enough red, white, blue, and gold to make one pair of earrings. And remember, the pattern is free over at Off the Beaded Path beadstore.com. So make sure to go over there and grab one of those. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Your beading starts here. Shop it off the Beaded Path beadstore.com. Bring your vision near. Off the Beaded Path.